So I wanted to come and give you guys a story time. My first story time. I'm excited. But anyway, my story time is about how I was irritating my nurse demons. And when I say that, I don't say that lightly. I was irritating her demons. So let's rewind. Last year, in January, I had back surgery, really big surgery. I was in a car accident. I had back surgery. Whatever, that's another story. But I had to get this surgery done. And I was at this beautiful hospital. I stayed at this beautiful hospital. So, you know how different nurses come in to do your vitals and the other ones come and do your medication. So I had the surgery, and I had some beautiful nurses, except this one nurse. And it was terrible. So every time the nurse would come in, I would have my Bible open because, even though I'm hurt, battered, and bruised, I still got to get the word in. You know what I mean? I still got to get my sermons in. So I always had the Bible open, not too far from it. I always had my Bible open, and I always had my tablet and probably some worship music going on sometime. So she would come in and not speak. Every time the setup was setting up, every time I had my Bible open and everything, she would not speak. So one day she came in and I spoke. I'm like, hello. And she was like, hi, give me your arm. She was very mean, very rude or whatever. Now, to mind you, I can't function right. You know what I mean? I'm either on heavy drugs or, I'm in pain. So I'm really like, what's up with this lady? But I'm really seeing her energy. So a couple of times she came in the room and my Bible was open, my sermons was on, or even maybe if she did come in the room, sometimes it was just some worship music on and it would just irritate her. So one time she came in the room and the setup wasn't set up. I didn't have the setup. And she came in and spoke. Hey, hello. I'm here to do your vitals. And I'm saying to myself, Dad, I really never heard your voice, but okay, I know you're here to do my vitals. You've been doing my vitals since I've been here. So she does my vitals and she leaves and she said, okay, have a good day. I ain't think nothing of it. I didn't even realize that the setup wasn't set up. So then she came back in the room again and later on that night and it was set up. She didn't speak. Her face said it all. Like I was offending her. So I know certain people don't believe in what I believe in, but you are in my room. So you're going to have to adapt. And this is who I believe in. So, this is what I'm saying to myself. This is who I believe in. And get with it. Or tell somebody you don't want to do this in this room. But every time you come in here, you're going to see a Bible. Or, this is what I'm saying to myself because I didn't really want to give it a business because I was in too much pain. But anyway, so she came in or whatever. She did her thing. She did this a couple of times. Let's fast forward. I go home. I had got a really bad infection. I had to go to the hospital and I was filling up with fluids to where I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even get a sentence in. It was more so like I couldn't I couldn't breathe. So come to find out that my body was filling up with fluid. They found 11 liters of fluid in my body or something like that. All right, don't quote me. So I went to one hospital, and because they didn't do the surgery, they had to take me to the hospital where I got the surgery at, right? Okay, get me there. They rushed me in, heavily medicated me that first night, did the surgery first thing in the morning, come back upstairs. Same, basically the same place, same side of the hospital or whatever. Beautiful nurses once again. Probably my third or fourth day in there. The nurse with the demons came in the room. So she came in, she didn't speak. The setup was set up. I still got the Bible and everything. I didn't care. I needed it. Told my son and them, bring my stuff. Bring my stuff. So my stuff was there. So she came in the room and she seen the setup. She didn't speak. Now I'm catching on to her. Now I'm like, oh, this is what it is. So fast forward one day there, I'm on the phone with my daughter and she is on the phone and I tell her like, Mooch, let me call you back or whatever. I hang up the phone. Now to mind you, the setup is setting up. And she's like, oh, that's your daughter? I'm like, yeah, got the music worship, the worship music on and everything. And I'm like, yeah, that's my daughter. You have a daughter? I'm like, yeah. You don't look like you have kids. Now to mind you, she's speaking with the setup setting up. So I'm like, oh, okay. You have kids? No. And left. Shut me off. I said, okay, no problem. That night, that particular night, I got out of the bed. I had the most beautiful, the view was amazing. It was so beautiful. So I'm standing there and something just, the spirit came over me and just was like telling me to, like soak up on it. So I'm praying and I'm worshiping and I'm going in. Like I'm going in. To mind you, I can't even move really. I'm going in and I'm just praying to God and thanking him for bringing me through and thank you for healing me and thanking him for getting me to the hospital on time. And I'm asking him to watch over me. I plead the blood of Jesus, the blood of healing, the blood of protection. I'm going in full throttle. Didn't do it the first time at, my first time in the hospital. But for some reason this night, I had to go in. I don't know why, but it's a spiritual thing. But let me tell you. So now my nurse coming, the male nurse. Now to mind you, she is only to do the vitals. That's your temperature, your blood pressure, your heart rate, and whatever else. That's all she's supposed to do. And that's on my left hand. My IV and medication thing, I had a PICC line and a regular IV was on my right hand. So my IV was on this side and she's only supposed to be on my left side. Honey, baby, she comes in a room. She comes in a room. She takes my vitals, right? Let me rewind. My nurse comes in and I wanted this medication that they give me called Dilaudid. I don't know if it's the right name, but I needed this medication because I was in the pain was so severe. It was worse than the first time I had the surgery because they had to go back in, reopen the cut and do what they do. So I wanted this Dilaudid. I needed the Dilaudid because the pain was paining. So he comes in, he give me, Anthony, that's his name. He comes in and he give me the medication and I goes to sleep. Some good sleep. So maybe about 4 or 5 hours go by, the medicine is wearing off. So I gets up, I go to the bathroom, I get back in the bed. I'm bringing the thing because I want some more Dilaudid. You know what I mean? Like the pain is paining. But he comes in, he tell me he can't give me the medication or whatever. No problem. So I go back to sleep. Something is saying, get up. But I thought I was dreaming. I thought I was dreaming. Something was saying, get up. Get up. Get up. I didn't get up, right? So I'm like, what? Like, it was so weird how it was happening. I can't even explain it, but it was saying, get up. So I jump up. I mean, you seen that. I jumps up. And I look, and she's at my IV. Okay? I'm like, yo, I'm looking at her, I say, yo, what are you doing? She was like, what do you mean what I'm doing? What's your name? To mind you, this lady has been in my room since I've been there and the time before. What's your name? Let me see your bracelet. So my bracelet is on my left hand. So I have to lean over so she can see my bracelet. So I show her. She like, I'm so mad they sent me in here to give you medication. As she's saying this, as I'm showing her my bracelet, I see she got these 2 glass vials in her hand, in the hand that she's reading my thing with. So I'm like, give me medication for what? You don't do medication. She leaves, which she was so angry. I'm so angry. They make me come in here and give you medication. And she storms out, right? I falls back to sleep because I'm like, what? But before I go back to sleep, I'm like, what just happened? Am I bugging? This is what I'm saying. Am I bugging? Let's fast forward again. 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm up. So hold on. Had to call Anthony in the room. Did you send this nurse in here to give me medication last night? He said, no, I'm your nurse. I'm the only one that's supposed to give you medication at night, right? So now he leaves. I ain't say nothing. So now I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So I'm asking him, I'm like, where's that nurse that wasn't here last night? He was like, I am the nurse. So I'm like, no. The lady that was in here. Now I'm thinking the Dilaudid is Dilaudid me. You know what I mean? Making me bug out. But I'm like, nah, I had a conversation with this lady. I got up. I can't even walk. I'm looking out the room waiting for the other nurse because Anthony is about to leave. So I'm looking for my nurse for the day. So she comes in and I'm asking her these questions, and she was like, no, why, what happened? And I'm telling her this happened, and the lady who does my vitals was over here by my IV about to give me medication. The crazy thing is she wasn't at the place where you inject the IV. She was at the bag. She said, what? Who? So I tells her the lady, she was like, I'm gonna need you to go to the supervisor on the floor. So I'm like, okay, when is the supervisor in? She was like, she should be in a little while. Where's her office? She tells me she leaves. She was like, but before you go over there, ask one of us for some help or whatever. So I'm like, okay. I'm ringing the bell, probably about 30, 40 minutes go by and nobody comes. So I get out the bed and I go over there and speak to the supervisor myself. And she's like, wait a minute. You said what? I said, yes. She was like, well, everybody that was on that shift has left for the night. So what I'm going to do is, she was telling me how she looked. So I told her, I don't want to say that because I don't want people to think I'm just saying this because of her nationality. But I told her how this lady looked and, what I told her. She was like, whoa, she was like, no, this is unacceptable. So I said, okay. So she was like, when she comes in, I'm going to bring her to you. So the whole day, I'm waiting for this lady. I don't want the dialogue. Because I want to be on point. I want to be on 10. So she didn't come in that day. So later on that night, I realized, I said, well, she ain't coming in. Let me get the dialogue. You know what I mean? So now I want the medication because I know what needs to be done ain't going to be done right now. So I actually was just taking the pills that they was giving me because the dialogue knocks me out. So now I know she not coming. So give me the dialogue so I can have a good night's sleep. So the next morning, about 6:15, 6:20 in the morning, the supervisor comes in the room and says, Miss, can you wake up? I look, she's with the lady. I'm like, yeah. She was like, is this her? I said, yeah, that's her. When I tell you this lady voice was so different, you would have thought she was an operator, a 911 operator. Me? No. I'm like, yeah, you. Now I'm looking like I'm bugging out, right? I'm like, yeah, it's you. No, it couldn't have been me. I don't give this voice was so creepy. And I'm looking and I'm like, you don't even talk like that. Who are you? So they looking at me like I'm bugging out and stuff like that. But I knew that what was going on, I was irritating her demons. And, every time she came in my room and seen that Bible, that I was irritating her. And now she's in the room, the Bible is not open. And it was so crazy because I really wanted to just get it and throw it out and say, hold on, look, let me show you something, and tell the supervisor, let me show you how she's going to switch up and put the Bible there so I could show her true colors because I was irritating her. That's how I felt. So next thing you know, she's using this high-pitched, squeaky voice. And, I'm telling my mother, I'm like, Mom, I'm not bugging. I'm telling my mother, I'm not bugging. I know what happened. My mother probably like, girl, you was on that dialogue. But I was like, it's not the dialogue. So they had to go to the cameras. And yes, she was in my room when she wasn't supposed to be. Now, they didn't see exactly what she did, but they knew that I wasn't making it up because she did not even come in the room with the vital card. She came in the room with nothing. I'm like, what is going on here? So the supervisor, just so happened a couple of days or even like the next day, I probably was leaving. And I spoke to the nurse, the other nurse that I had, and she was like, let me tell you something. Like, anybody that is to do vitals is to do vitals. Anybody is to do medication is to do medication. But I just wanted to share this story because when the devil see you on a mission, he will use anybody to take you out. And I witnessed that. I got another story of him using somebody, and quickly used them. You know what I mean? But I wasn't even angry because he didn't get to complete his mission. And the Lord was saying, get up. Get up. It was a reason why I was praising and worshiping like that night. Because the Lord knows people's heart and knows the things that is coming my way. Knows the things that is coming your way. So when you hear that voice nudging you, Get up, go, move. Don't sit there. Don't eat that. Don't do this. Listen to it. And I'm speaking to myself too, because still sometimes I struggle with listening to that voice, thinking that it's me, and it's not. Now, let's just say I didn't praise and worship the way I was doing. I don't know, but because the Lord is with me, he's with me. But ain't no telling if she would have even got, I don't know what she was going to give me. Maybe it was the Dilaudid, an extra dose. I don't know. I was kind of eerie about her from the first visit, but I didn't know that I would experience this, that she would try to take me out. And that's what I kind of feel like. What else are you coming in here giving me? You have 2 vials. You're not even supposed to be administering medication. You don't have your medicine card. Now you coming in here with the supervisor, and you don't even sound like the lady that I done been seeing in here for the past couple of months. Now, to mind you, I told you a short story, but I've been in a hospital from January to like April. Okay? So the times in between that, I was in and out of the hospital, and this woman could not stand who I was worshiping, and whatever was in her was being irritated by my Lord. You could be sitting there hee ha haing and everything, and the devil would jump into somebody just like that, because he knows the plans the Lord has for you. So he's either going to try to take you out or cause you to do something you don't want to do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if she would have got the old cue, I'm not even going to let the words leave my lips, but let's just say, I know I've been changed. You know what I mean? I know I've been changed. And I wasn't going to let her take me out of my character, because I was under supervision the whole time. She didn't know it. There's something about when he do what he do that shocks you, and you like, whoa, God, you was there. You seen it. You knew. You know what I mean? Even though we know he knows all things, it still shocks me to see him do what he do. And I love it. I love to see him do what he do, but he's going to always protect you. He's going to always watch over you. He's going to always be there for you. And he's always with you, even when you're not with him. But I just want to tell you, pay attention to everybody around you, because the devil will send some agents, baby. They don't even know that they're working for the devil, but they would do it without even getting paid. So watch out for your surroundings, because if a nurse was willing to take me out or overdose me or do whatever she was going to do, ain't no telling with the people around you who can't stand you, who can't stand your anointing, who can't stand who you worshiping would do. Because people hate the fact that you're changing your light. They hate the fact that your light is shining different, and they will try you, baby. They will try you. So pay attention to your surroundings. My first story time. I'm glad y'all was listening. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I never get to say that at the every video. Please subscribe and like and comment. Thank you for listening.